I just want to touch base with the Eastwood community. There's a lot going on. We've been in school a whole month already. That was fast. I mean, we blink and we've been in school since August 12th. And so that's a month of school that's behind us, 9 months to go. And I'm excited that we have a lot of good things happening in Eastwood. And so as I go through, I'm gonna just highlight a couple things that have happened, some changes. And then if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat so that we can discuss those as I go through. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all the families for what you guys have been doing. You've been really helpful when it comes to keeping your students home if they're not feeling well. You've been very helpful in, giving us a call and saying, hey, you know what, Mr. Ramsey, my kid's sick, or, my kid's fine, I got tested. You guys have been great. And I want to say thank you for that, because without that, we would not be in a predicament we are in. Last week, I was getting a ton of calls saying, why aren't you giving us like the updates? Where is all the notifications about, the exposure or the positive cases? And up until that time, we had none at Eastwood. And I want to just say thank you, families, for your safety, for your care, for your concern. Even with the case that we did have, there was no transmission on campus. There was no spreading, and it was isolated to that one case that you guys got a general notice. And since then, there has been no other cases. So I am very grateful that our Eastwood community has been very safe and has been following the protocols and procedures put in place. And I just want to say we could not have done that without you guys. So I appreciate and thank you guys all. I do want to say we do awards each year. This year, perfect attendance will not be on the table, because I don't believe it's fair that if, like, say your child had to quarantine and they weren't sick, but they were exposed, they missed school and they get penalized. So for this year, because of all of the uncertainties, I'll call them, of attendance and being on campus, we have eliminated the perfect attendance. And that's kind of been universal across the district, because we don't want unnecessary pressure that people want to push their kids to school when they could have kept them home just to be safe. So again, we just want our students to be safe this year. And if they aren't able to come to school, if you're being precautionary, if you're quarantining, if it's a positive case, contact the office so that we know we can mark it appropriately for attendance, but also contact your teacher so that we can get the students the work they need while they're not on campus. If they have to be out for extended periods of time, we want to work with the family so that the students aren't missing so much instruction. We know working at home is not equivalent to being in the classroom, but we don't want them just to be so far removed from instruction that when they come back, it's a hard transition. For those that have students in kindergarten through second grade, you should have probably heard a notice or a message from your child's teacher that said that our technology program has changed a bit. For the last 18 months, all students have been able to keep devices at home, but right now our district has pivoted or transitioned to a 3 through 5 who get to take their devices home, and K-2 will have to keep their devices at school. So I'm asking that if you have had a device for the last year or so, that you will return it and it stay at school. But also if you have a charger that was signed out with that device, could you send it back to school with your child as well? Because we'll be collecting those. And again, this is the model we are in right now. I've been told that it may change. We may change and pivot back to signing them out throughout the year like we did in the past. But for right now, the devices are going to be stored in charge on campus for kindergarten through second. I've already been meeting with my teachers and informing them that we have to change how we do homework, because if the child doesn't have a device for the apps at home, it's not fair to make all the work digital and they can't access it. So the teachers will be communicating what homework looks like, what the expectation for work at home and review and things like that looks like, and how you can support them with or without the device. If you have any questions, please direct them to your teachers so they can help you. I don't know how many of you were listening to the board meeting last night, but I was listening to some, and there was a lot of debate about the mandating vaccine for staff and the mandating vaccine for students 12 and older. I just wanted to let you guys know that there was no vote, there's no resolution passed. So there's a lot of debate or concern, and they're taking more time to consider that. So at this time, there is no mandate for staff or students. And as we get more information on that that pertains to you and your child, I will share that freely. And I just want to say, I just saw a question pop up. Would it be used only by one student or shared? Okay, good question. Let's jump back to the iPads. Thank you for, let me see who said that. This was from Brandy Corona. She asked, will they be used only by one student or shared? Will they be cleaned often? So the question is, number one, will the devices be shared? They will not. They will be assigned to this child. Teachers are marking them. If it's a number, because a lot of teachers put stickers and have the numbers, or they have some type of indicator, it might be a tag with their name. And so they are in charge of passing them out and collecting them at the end of the day. So the children do not share the devices. They use their assigned device. And then they are cleaned regularly. We have Clorox wipes that we are allowed to use on our technology, and we wipe them down so that they are cleaned on a regular basis. So I hope that answers your question. But again, back to the mandated vaccines, it's a pause right now. If you have more questions about that, feel free to give me a call and I can fill you in. I want to talk about the pickup and drop off line. For those that are using the side gate and the back gate, you guys have been fine. Continue to do that. I just ask that if you're on that side gate, don't stop in the middle of the street to let your child jump out and run to the fence. Please pull over to the curb in a safer manner. But for those that use the pick up and drop off in the front of the school, we need to talk about it. So I would ask that when you guys pull in, that you pull all the way up the fire lane as far as possible. That way it allows as many cars as possible to get in at one time. Please do not stop halfway. Please pull all the way up as far as you can, then stop. Allow your children to get out and then pull off. We ask also that if you are driving through the pickup drop-off line, that not get out while your children are getting out. If you have to assist your child on the get out process or getting in, we ask that you park your car and assist them there, because that drop-off pickup line works more effectively for those that just stop, open the car, the child gets out, close the door and move on. A lot of times when we have parents getting out or not pulling all the way up, we have unnecessary traffic that's building up in the street. And even our neighbors have been complaining to us about the flow of traffic blocking their driveways and things of that nature. So I'm asking that you guys will pull all the way to the end of the fire lane, let your students get out, please stay in your cars, and then pull off. We are in the process of securing volunteers that will be helping man and aid the front parking lot to assist with this as well. And hopefully we'll get it right. I understand it's a process, but I believe we can do it more effectively and in a more timely manner, but also making sure that everyone remains safe. I want to also let you guys know, these are some little quick updates. Picture Day is coming up. Ms. Schultz, correct me if I'm wrong, it's September 28th, or is it 29th? 28th, okay. You'll be getting information probably by the end of this week. We're waiting for the picture people to give me the final schedule, but all you have to do is send your child dressed appropriately, how you want them to take their picture. They will get like a little proof and you can order later or you can order in advance. But more information will be coming out. I want you to mark your calendar. September 28th is Picture Day. I also want to let you know that field trips have been paused, postponed, all that stopped just for a safety measure. And I know this kind of stinks because fifth graders usually go to science camp and, you know, some other trips like to the theater and this and the other, but for the abundance of caution and safety, we are not doing any trips at this time. Now, if things change, we will address it. But if I were to say right now, September 14th, trips are on pause. So just kind of bear with us as we try to put the safety of our staff and students first. And we'll work on the experiences later. If we have to go maybe some more digital experiences or, you know, online presentations, we'll look into that. I mean, I really like field trips, but right now safety and of our students and our staff is paramount. Also want to know for parents in grades 3 through 5, starting Thursday, I believe it's Thursday, they will get on Schoology their climate survey. This is a survey we do kind of twice a year for students to tell us how they feel about the culture. Are they feel safe at school? How do they feel social emotionally about being back at school? Do they feel that they're supported, that their teachers have their best interests at heart? So if you see your child on Schoology in grades 3 through 5. Encourage them to complete that survey. They have about a week to do it. And it just gives us good feedback from the students' perspective. Got a question that pops up regarding Picture Day. Will the online study children be included? Yes. If you're on independent study, you are still an Eastwood student. So if you want to bring your child to campus that day to take a picture, contact me so I can make sure we give you a time frame that's appropriate for the grade, and we will let your child take the picture. And also, if we have a yearbook, which I'm anticipating, they will be included in our yearbook this year because they are still an Eastwood student, even though they might be learning from a distance at this time. All right. For kinder, first, second, maybe a couple third, fourth, and fifth, but particularly kinder, first, and second, you might have received an email from Miss Lena or a phone call from our intern asking about like social groups. And again, this is not that your child is in trouble. A lot of people are like, wait, why is my child being referred for this group? It is to help them transition to school or to come to school for the first time and to help reinforce positive behaviors. This is a proactive strategy. Maybe they've had a little difficult time walking in line or following the rules because they've been home so long. And this is a way for the students to learn from each other, to encourage each other, and to work with Miss Lena, because they all love Miss Lena. And they can learn the skills of being a successful Eagle at Eastwood. Also, they get Eagle dollars and prizes. And so they really love to go hang out with Miss Lena. And so it's a good thing. So if you got a recommendation to go and you're not comfortable or you have questions, please contact myself, or you can contact Ms. Lena or your child's teacher. But I think it's good for all students, even those that already know all the rules. There's nothing wrong with reinforcement and practice or being a good peer model. So if your child got the letter and you're not sure, give me a call. But if you are okay with it, let them participate, because it doesn't just help them, it helps our community as a whole. And the last thing I want to discuss, and then we will get to open dialogue, is School Site Council. I sent the email out about your members. You guys have 5 parent reps, or have 3 teacher reps. I am on the team and 1 other school personnel. And we will meet about 7 times this year to discuss our school improvement plan, some finances that support the strategies, if it's like our book study to improve math, if it's planning time, it's certain resources and materials we have to buy to support student learning, and just we monitor how the year is going and what adjustments we need to make. I will again send out reminders about those meetings. So if you ever want to attend, you're free to attend. They are via Zoom. And if you want to know who your reps or parent people, contact people are, I'll send that out again as well, because you might have questions and can't make the meeting. And you can always send it in via your reps, and we can discuss it as a team and get the answers back out to you. Okay, so that's the end of my spiel. It wasn't too long. I'm looking at my clock, about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I want to go to the chat and just open it up for questions, comments, concerns. If there's anything out there that I need to address, I want to address that now. If not, you guys are kind of quiet tonight. It seems like the more we do these, the quieter you guys get. Is there any questions in the Zoom chat or room tonight? Oh gosh, I'm doing that bad tonight. Usually you guys, when we did this a year ago, I got 100 questions. And now it's like I run through this and you guys say, I got nothing to say. Well, let me ask this in the chat or raise your hand. Honest feedback, how do you feel we're doing since we've been open a year? I mean, after being closed over a year, we've been open a month. How is Eastwood doing? I mean, I know we're not perfect, but how do you feel we're doing to meeting the needs of your students, or meeting up the needs of what you feel a school should be opening in the midst of a pandemic? I see Mr. Camille, I did see your thumbs up, so I appreciate that. Ms. D, thank you, thumbs up. Anybody want to share? Everyone's giving me a thumbs up. Nobody wants to talk tonight. That's fine. Once 5:30 hits, then I'm closing this Zoom down. I'll let you guys
I have a quick question.
Yes,
I have a quick question. First of all, I think you guys are doing an awesome job, and my kids say that you're everyone's like sanitized and orderly. So thank you very much, all the teachers and especially all the aides and everyone. I just had a quick question about the water fountains.
Yes.
Is that going to, because I know some of the other schools I've attended, they've shut down the water fountains. Is that a concern, or is that something that, I was a little concerned, but my kids were saying that it sprays up high. So it won't be a contamination thing. So I wasn't sure if it was like the water. I haven't been on campus if it was the water one where they refill, but I think it's the spray one as well, or you have both.
Okay, so we have both. So good question. Because in the spring they were shut off. Over the summer, they were giving guidance to the grounds or maintenance department, not grounds, maintenance department, to turn the waters back on. So they're cleaned every day. They're able to use, but we don't have students using them. We discourage them. This last 2 weeks ago, outside the NPR, you guys can't see it. They installed a hydration station. So you have like the airport where you put the water bottle in and the water comes down and fills up the water bottle. So we have been doing two things, asking students to bring their own water bottles. And if they are thirsty, we have the little children-sized water bottles. We have been passing those out to discourage the use of the water fountains. And to be honest, I haven't seen many students use them. There may be one or two that have used it, but not like pre-COVID where they were running to it all the time, because we have provided them their individual water bottles, and they've been very good at bringing their own. And again, we have that hydration station now as well. So again, even though they are on, they are not used very much at all. So I hope that answers your question.
Great, thank you very much.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Brandy Corona says school is doing great. Ms. King asked a question. What are the emails that we are receiving about the symptom check? Do we need to take action on those? No. So if you remember in the spring, if you're a part of our community, we will get the daily reminder, and you had to fill out 3 questionnaires before your child come back to campus, before your child came back to campus. We don't have to do that questionnaire anymore. They are just giving the reminder. So you should get them every day in the morning. And it says, has your child developed any symptoms? Have you been exposed to anybody with COVID-19? And there's, I forget what the other one is. If you are getting it later in the day, I think it's a little glitch in the system, because a lot of parents have been saying, hey, I got this. Is this the general letter? That is not the letter coming from me. If you get a call from me, if like your child was exposed, you'll get a personal call from me and a exposure letter. And then you will get a general notification letter about a positive case from me. So if it comes from the district, that's just a reminder saying, make sure that if you have symptoms, stay home. If you've been exposed, stay home, things like that. It is not anything indicating more cases on campus. So Ms. King, I hope that answers your question. Ms. Schultz, your hand.
I don't know how we would get the feedback, but if we can somehow, I would like to know, as PTAs planning things for after school, how comfortable the families are, because there is a lot of work that goes into scheduling those types of things. And I kind of want to see the temperature of our families, if that's something that they would like to see, or should we try more virtual programs? And again, I mean, obviously this group can't make that decision, but I would like to have some kind of feedback on that.
I can send out a survey, kind of like I did with School Site Council. You guys vote. I can put like a 2-question survey, like, are you comfortable with in-person programs or virtual after school, and kind of get a sense. And maybe if you have a couple ideas, I can put like, for example, like, would you prefer this in person or virtual? That way they can kind of give us a pulse on where they are comfort level. And it's something I was going to get into probably in October, because we had the Korean program a couple of years ago. The district still wants us to provide that, but do we provide it in person or do we provide it online? Or there are some other programs we used to offer. Again, if we offer things in person, we just have to be very careful about the containment of how many, close contacts, things like that. So some families may say, I don't want to take the risk, let's do virtual, and that's fine. But if we have a large enough group that want to do something in person, and it makes sense, and the numbers, and it's a safety within the realm of safety, I think we can look at it. But I'm not going to definitively say, let's just open up the floodgates today. I'm going to proceed with caution. Okay. But I'll remind me later this week to put that survey together, and I'll send it out to everybody. All right, Ryder, my kids are absolutely happy. Thanks so much. You guys are doing great. Love to hear that. The number on the back of my son's iPad fell. Do we notify the teacher? This was from iPhone. It doesn't have a name, so I'm not quite sure. When you say the number on the back, was it like a sticky or a sticker? I don't even know if they're still here. iPhone, could you unmute? I hate saying iPhone because I already seen someone personal, but I don't know who it is. Okay, well, maybe they'll jump in and let me know. If it's just a sticker, it's not a big deal. It's if it's like the barcode, something, we can talk about that later. Okay, thanks. Is there an update on SAC? Thank you, Brandy. So I got an email, and then a parent stopped me at dismissal asking about SAC. So I called the director today to see if there's an update, and they were in the process of finalizing and securing some staff. And they said they hope to have an update by Friday. So as soon as I get the update, I'll be blasting it out to all the families of Eastwood. They're trying to staff Eastwood and La Pluma. But again, he anticipated to have some type of update officially on Friday. So if not the end of this week, the beginning of next week, we should have some information on the SAC program. So that's the end of the chat. I don't see any more hands. Are we good for tonight? Everybody good? Okay, going once, going twice. You guys are smiling and laughing. Okay, well, I would say I will thank you guys for your time. It's 5:33. I'll adjourn this round table. I will post it for review later. It wasn't much to watch, but thank you guys for your time and enjoy the evening. See you later.